Charmaine, and my guest today is the latest eliminated designer to be told these words, Avita Zine, from host Heidi Klum, and she's here today to talk about her experience on Project Runway Season 14. I want you to help me welcome Miss Amanda Perna. Hey, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much.
Now, I know everything is all hustle and bustle right now in New York because it's New York Fashion Week. How exciting is that?
So exciting. We're very, very exciting, and I actually had to step out because it was so noisy in my studio at the moment as we're prepping.
So what is the energy like right now in New York City Fashion Week? Plus, you're a part of Project Runway Season 14, so you guys are probably getting ready for Project Runway's fashion show. So what is it like right now?
Oh, just crazy. I mean, really high energy, both excitement, well, more excitement than anything else, but also just, the rush to get it all done, and I'm excited to see all of my cast members' presentations at Fashion Week. So it's really exciting. It's a good time for sure.
So what designers are you interested in seeing this week at Fashion Week?
Everybody who's presenting. I mean, just how, everybody has a different perspective and does different fashion. And I'm just really excited to see how everybody pulled their looks together and what they're going to show, because as you know, this is their moment to shine. This is their moment to win it all. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with.
Okay. Now, Amanda, you are the latest eliminated designer from the show. So let's talk about first, why did you even decide to become a fashion designer? And as they say, where did your passion for fashion come from?
Sure. Well, I have always been the crazy one who was making something out of whatever I could find. I used to spray glitter glue all over my shoes to make them stand out. I went through a phase where I was spray painting all of my denim. My parents thought I was completely crazy. I was always making something and really into just fashion in general. And it really all kind of started from my love of costume design and then evolved from there. And I kind of fell into it by accident. I took a class when I was actually a psychology major and fell madly in love with fashion and never wanted to look back ever again.
See, I took a sewing class, and that was the last sewing class I ever took. I got a C. I couldn't even sew on the lines on a pillow. I don't even sew a button on today. So this girl got problems. And so for you to find your passion so early, to go from psychology, and now you're on a television show, and a hit television show at that. So I wanted to talk to you. What was your audition process like? And then when you got that phone call when they told you that you will be a contestant on the show?
Yeah, I mean, the audition process was a little bit different for me since I, had a brief thing with them on season 9. After that, it was kind of, I'd been asked a few times to come back and the timing wasn't right. And then this season, I went through the process again and got the call. And I mean, it was really crazy leaving my team, but it was it was just the right time where I was ready to go back into the games. And, I was launching another brand. So I was like, it's really great to be relevant again and in the eye of the press and, back in front of people. So it was exciting. I mean, for my team, it was really terrifying because that meant I was going to be gone for a while they were working on my line. But, it's exciting. It's one of those opportunities that not many people get to experience. So when you get that call saying that you're going to be on the show, you're one of 16 people that are picked for a season, it's like, how can you not be super excited?
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that you were on the seasons before, because my question for you didn't go so far this season. How did it feel? Because I know you probably thought, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to take it. And, you had some issues on the show, and then you still get eliminated early on. What was that feeling like for you?
I mean, for me, I was just thankful for the time that I had there, the designers I worked with, the challenges we got to do. I mean, you get to work with Gunn and Heidi Klum. That's pretty freaking awesome. And for me, in all honesty, the whole time I was there, I was partially really only there in my mind because I was so worried about what was happening with my brand back home. As a business owner with employees, it's my job to make sure everything is running smoothly with my business. So, for me, it was kind of bittersweet. Of course, I wanted to make it all the way, but who wouldn't? But at the same time, I got to do some really cool things that I wouldn't do otherwise in life and got to go home earlier, so I got to be back home working on my next collection. And it did. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I've had a lot of great experiences. I worked for Calvin Klein, Oscar de la Renta. So, this is the opportunity for one of my cast members who hasn't had those experiences to really have a moment to shine. So while I would have loved to win, because who doesn't want to win, it was okay, because that meant I was going home back to my business and back to my happy little studio where, we can drink wine while working. So it was a good thing. Bittersweet, but it was okay.
Now for you, being a designer, and then you go to this show and it looked like you have some difficulties. What was that like for you, knowing that you have your own business, you have your own employees, you get to this show and you appear to be struggling at some points? How did that feel for you?
Yeah. I mean, well, the thing for me really is, I am fortunately at the point in my career where I am a true working fashion designer where, I sketch, I do all of the development things. I have a pattern maker I work with who, we work it out together. It's very team oriented, which is how it works in the real fashion world. So, I knew it when I was going in from the beginning that I already was going to be at a slight disadvantage because I'm at the point where I'm not the one stitching everything anymore. I sell thousands of units. So it's where a lot of these people are at the earlier phases of their career. So they, they're sewing every day and they're the ones physically making it. And I'm used to working with 9 months. I stay up all night working on things. I work crazy hours. I don't wake up early in the morning, so it definitely was a challenge for me. And I'm not going to hide that, and I will say, like, in my world, it's very different, and especially the pressure of, you're going against all these people that all the other contestants want to see you fail. Whereas I'm used to working with a bunch of people who were all there for the same purpose and working as a team. So, that element, I think, is what really tripped me up more than anything, to be honest, just, all of the negative energy in the room, because it's, everybody wants you to fail so that they can succeed. And I'm the kind of girl that thinks there's enough success for all of us to go around. It was a little hard, and just hard for, all the people who know me were like, what happened, girl? Like, I've never seen you like that before. I mean, part of it, is the way, obviously, that things are edited. And some things are dramatized and parts are not shown that aren't so dramatic. But, it is what it is. It's TV, and at the end of the day, it made for interesting TV, and all my friends and family had a good time watching me look crazy. So, nothing's lost in the end.
Because, and back to you being a designer, and I'm sure you're probably not used to people coming in and having to critique your work. And when you have Tim Gunn coming in every day, looking and critiquing your work, and especially when you're the mastermind behind things and what you say is going to go, and you probably have the final say, and then you got Tim Gunn coming in and be like, how does it feel when your work is being critiqued and you think it looks pretty good?
Yeah, the thing for me is, like, in the real world, I'm critiqued every day when somebody comes and looks at the line, whether it's a boutique owner, a showroom person, a celebrity. So that for me wasn't so hard. What was hard for me in particular was just Tim Gunn. He's Tim Gunn, and he's freaking amazing. But he's very different than the other judges. And each one of them, design is so subjective. So you have Tim saying one thing, like they're on the challenge when Gabby and I were on there. Tim loved what we did. So we thought it looked pretty good too. And then we get to the judges, and they put us at the bottom because they have a different viewpoint. So everybody has their own opinion, which is really challenging because you're not just dealing with one person, you're dealing with all these people with different ideas, with different aesthetics. So it's like you can't really know exactly what they're going to want. And then there's always what happened to me multiple times is, one episode they'll be like, okay, we need it toned down a little. And then the next episode they need it kicked up a notch. So I'm like, what in that? I don't know what to do for you, And that was where it was hard for me was like, I felt like damned if I did and damned if I didn't. Like,
and you were in that situation.
I'm just going to do it.
And that is so true.
I was, girl. It was every other week. I was like, now it's too much. Now it's not enough. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I should just send her out naked and see if they like that. I don't know.
That's funny.
It really was. It's an experience not like anything else. And I know, like, a lot of, like, the people who are viewing the show would be like, oh my gosh, she just, can't handle the pressure. I can handle the pressure. I worked for Calvin Klein, where we developed 4,000 dresses a season. I have no problem with pressure. My problem was just in A, trying to be a mind reader, and B, deal with all my fellow cast members.
Straight to the point. It's this team challenge. It was a struggle for all the ladies. I kind of thought the ladies was going to come together and make this happen. And now
I thought so too.
Now I'm with Heidi on this and Amanda. Why did you guys pick Ashley last? I'm like, she's a winner. And my thing is, I always want winners on my team. Why was Ashley picked last and she's won 2 challenges?
Right. Well, I will start by saying, in defense of my team, the boys didn't pick her either. So let's just clear the air on that one, because everyone keeps saying mean girls, mean girls. The boys also did not pick her. I honestly can't speak for anybody else but myself, because we picked 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So we were all only able to and responsible for one person. So I picked Kelly because Kelly is quick with her patterns. So I looked at Kelly and said, okay, Kelly can draft patterns really fast. Because in my head, working in a professional environment, I thought we would work more like the boys did as a team. And everybody plays up their strengths. So the person who's quick with patterns does patterns. The person good with print does print. The person good with sewing does sewing. But that's not how my team saw it. Mm-mm. So it was, that was the challenge for us, really. And I mean, I agree, I really don't know why Ashley was picked last, but unfortunately I had no control over any other pick other than my own. And I do kind of feel like so much emphasis was put on that in the episode that it was borderline ridiculous, to be honest, because that even if I was picked last, I would have been hell-bent on doing everything I could to make sure I proved everybody wrong. But the opposite kind of happened. So it was very dramatic.
Now, did you expect Ashley to be the one going home because her garment wasn't as good as some of the others?
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that we've gotten a lot of heat. People have said we were being mean girls and blah. What didn't happen, what was not shown, is Candace and I actually helped Ashley sew the vest for her look, because her look wasn't complete. So the two of us actually helped Ashley, but, only so many things can be shown in an episode. But the two of us actually did do that. And so that's part of why when I said Ashley, it had nothing to do with ganging up on anybody. I think Ashley is a talented designer. I think she's a lovely person. I think everybody on our cast is a lovely person, and it had nothing to do with because the other people said her or I said her, because let's be real, at that particular moment, if I was basing on, who I was getting along with, Lori and I had a little disagreement. So if I was picking it based on people, I wouldn't have said Ashley. But Ashley's garment, I thought, was the weakest. It was a very plain skirt. I loved her pleating, but we sewed her vest. So it was like, if you're looking at, the overall aesthetic, that's why I said Ashley. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, obviously, nor would I try to. But for me, that's why I went that route, and I still maintain I do not think mine was the worst. I really don't. And, so at the end of the day, what my thing was as long as I felt like I tried my best, and Lord knows that episode in particular, I tried my best, I was okay. So it wound up where, a lot of other people, I think when they get eliminated, they're really angry and really bitter. I wasn't so much because I knew I was going home to something fabulous, but, it is what it is.
Okay. Well, at least because I know you were kind of stunned that you went home, and that's great that you have something, that you call your own that you're very proud of. Like you said, you guys are cranking out clothes, right. and that's wonderful. And you sound really happy. You sound really good, and you're really in a good place. And like I said, New York Fashion Week is going to be on and popping this week, as they say, and you get to see your castmates. So that's wonderful. So I'm glad you really have a good perspective on it. That's great. And go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to remind the viewing audience to make sure they tune in on Thursdays at 9 p.m. to Lifetime to Project Runway. So go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, the big thing for me is I got to meet really cool people. I got to do challenges I would never do in my life. I got to talk to Kelly Osbourne, who doesn't love Kelly Osbourne? So all in all, it is a great experience. And, certain things didn't go the way I wanted them to, of course. But, it's okay. And, you just have to keep on getting back up and doing your thing. And it's just a hiccup, and you keep moving forward and support everybody else because, they got where they got in this season. So we just have to show them some love each and every week, even though of course you'll miss me. you have to support all of my friends that are still on the show.
So before you go, if people wanted to check out your clothing line, do you have a website so they can go?
I do. I launched a second brand actually. So we have both thehouseofperna.com and the thopstudio.com. So studio is a little bit more casual, easier to wear, less expensive, and my ready-to-wear collection is a little bit higher end. But there's a lot of fun things, something for everyone, and I encourage them to keep up with us because we're doing a lot of crazy fun things. So even though they won't see me on Thursdays, they can see me every day on social media.
Okay. Well, that is wonderful. And again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really enjoyed you today.
Thank you. I enjoyed chatting with you, too. Have a good one.
You, too. And again, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Lady Charmaine live on Friday night.